The picture.
I'm gonna need you to repeat that. How this one just went to prepare for this, because everybody's settled now. Y'all listen. It's like it. Yes, she just had to put a couple of them in the background. They had to go. One's got to have one pep talk. One's got to have the other. That's the way it is. But anyway, we had an appointment today, as y'all know, and it was successful. It was successful. The only thing that the doctor that we had, and I'm sorry, I've been working today, this morning. We all worked hard this morning. Even Jennifer, she worked hard too. Get the job done. We had an appointment. It was the longest one we've ever had. But I was partially right. The doctor that was there, that we fired, did a little bit more harm than good, but they were spot on. It is OSDD 1B. We know that for a fact. We got verification today. We have now, I think, found the correct doctor, the correct therapist, take care of this. And when I say take care of it, kind of get everything in jive. There's no really taking care of it. It's here to an extent. It's always going to be an extent. There's no changing that. Sorry y'all had to reach for my ashtray, but how it's dealt with, how it all gets interacted with the internal family system is the goal. If you feel triggered whatsoever, please, if you begin to feel that way, please get up and leave. So, and that's something we got to cover too. When we do a go live, we don't want her to trigger. We don't want to go into alter. So if she needs to leave, she's got to excuse herself, and it'll just be me talking. But anyway, getting away from that. What we've learned is we thought, for a while now, that the doctor that we did have really wasn't on cue. Christy Dalton says she loves your necklace.
Thank you.
Lee Sykes said bring them on camera. Cousin Douglas Fordham said bring them on camera. They may very well come on camera. They may come on camera. If she does get triggered, they would come on camera. But what we've been dealing with is rapid switches, extended switches, and so forth, and it kind of went chaotic there for a little while, and we really wasn't sure what was going on. The doctor that we had was kind of like, their main focus was just acknowledging she has it, acknowledging what she does have, and focusing more on what triggers are. Well, Jennifer and I had kind of already learned what the triggers were. We know what the triggers were. Well, we've been learning them as we go, but this doctor here is more concerned with the individuals themselves, and how everything has come to play as far as why it has become so pronounced now. And I'm gonna try to make this a short video. I'm gonna do a longer video. I don't have enough subscribers on YouTube yet to go live, to be able to do it expeditedly that way. I'm going to do a longer one, probably on YouTube, just for my YouTube followers, because they're more than just the people on our Facebook pages that follow us on this. But there's one lurking right now in the background. She's listening, but Rusty is in fact a male side altar, as of right now that we know that's in there. We thought maybe before we had the appointment today that it was a female tomboy side, but there's a dude side in there. So anyway, I forget my train of thought where I was going. Oh, how this all became so pronounced. What we were kind of instructed as to why that was the case was very illy explained. Need to understand that when you have Tammy, thank you. When you have what she has, and she has the lowest end of this thing, but when you have what she has, those altars will not come out on their own until they have somebody they feel comfortable and trust enough to do that with. They won't do that, and they all have with me. They all have with me since we've been together. The littlest one, LJ, she was the first one to decide to come out. I'm gonna adjust this camera, and I hope that the traffic on our road isn't disturbing the sound. But the littlest one, actually, LJ, was the one to come out first with me, and that's whenever I first realized, something different with Jennifer, and when she done it a lot more over time with me, I thought, like I said early on, previous days, that in previous videos, that she was just being cute. No, she wasn't being cute, but LJ actually was the first to come totally forward with me. I thought. Actually, the night Jennifer and I re-met after 27 years, I saw Jennifer, I saw Becca, and I saw Reba. They were all three up front and center that night. Becca made like 2 appearances, and she was out. Reba hung around most of the night, and Jennifer was kind of in and out that night. But the cause of it all is, since Jennifer was like 3 years old, it has been, don't kick the table, please, with your foot swing. She was in and out all night long. It was 3 of them. Like I said, Becca made like 2 appearances, and she was out. She's gone. Reba hung around most of the night. Jennifer kind of and Reba were switching. I did not realize this was going on. I did realize when Becca was there. I did realize that teenager part was in there in that night. But I still, just thought it was, Jennifer was just, it was her birthday night. She was just excited, whatever, because of that. So I'm not going to use names anymore in this video. After this, you need to understand that the little one is LJ, the middle one is Becca, and the oldest one is Reba. and I will refer to them as that because I see her as calling, is summoning them right now as I say their names. But the reason that it got so pronounced is because LJ, she finally had that person she trusted enough to come out in her own, the little one. You good? Okay. The little one felt trusted me enough that she could come out and be forward with me, and that's why she actually done it in a public setting the first time, and that's why she's comfortable being out now. As long as I'm with her, she won't come out unless I'm with her. You would not see Jennifer go to LJ without me. She won't do it. Little one, I got to do that. The middle one and the oldest one for the girls, they will co-front, and they always have. We realized through today's appointment and what knowledge that we've worked on in collecting ourselves, that this has always been the case. Those two have always co-fronted with Jennifer, which is no more than co-conscious. They existed together. The little one and the middle one are the only two that will co-conscious together themselves. But the rest will only co-conscious in them with Jennifer. Nobody else does co-conscious, but the middle one and the little one, they'll do it together if they're one or the other is out, or Jennifer with all of them. And they have always done this. And the only one that could never mask as Jennifer is the little one. So that's why everybody has always seen those parts of her, but never knew that those parts, whenever they showed themselves, were actually a whole nother individual, because they knew they could use Jennifer's face and Jennifer's body to be in the front. So that kind of gives you an idea. They knew they could use her body and her face. You good? Mm-hmm. Okay. And she knows she can excuse herself if she feels too much, and she's got a lot going on right now. Just even doing this video, it's got a lot going on with her. But because all of them trusted me enough to be completely forward, be their own individual selves, that's whenever they came completely out. That's whenever they decided they're going to be their own selves. And you know, like you're thinking, yeah, I'm actually kind of the root cause for it being out like it is with her parts. That's what it takes for them to be out alone, you know, by themselves, and Jennifer's in the back. Has to be with that trusted person. Otherwise, they'll mask themselves as Jennifer and co-front. They'll blend with her and let themselves out enough that they get to be an individual, but you wouldn't recognize it. You wouldn't know it. And now they want to be recognized as individuals. They want to be recognized as individuals. And that's fine. Jennifer asked me, when did I realize that that there were all of these parts, and it was actually before we got married. It was within the first 8 months of our relationship that I realized that these individual parts were in there. I did not know what she had, but I knew there were individual parts. I knew her well enough to know when I had actual Jennifer or I had one of these other ones. And early on, the littlest one, she would only pop out in little moments. You know, maybe a sentence at the most, or a couple of words. I guess 2 words makes a sentence with a period, and then she's gone. And I mistook it for what it really was. But more and more signs started leaning more towards there's more than actually one of her. Well, Jennifer asked me one night, we were sitting at our picnic table, and and we were having a deep conversation, and I told her that there was something about her. Okay, go ahead, baby. I told her she had to go. I told her there was something about her that she didn't even know herself. And she wanted to know what it was. And I said, I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you. She wanted to know why. I said, because if I tell you, you're going to be subconscious about it, and you're going to change that part of you. And I don't want you to. I don't want to change that part of you. I didn't know. She had to go, I'm sorry. But I didn't want to change anything about her. I fell in love with all of her. So I didn't tell her what it was. And that was somewhere around 6 months after we got together that I realized this. And that something was going on. I didn't know what it was. And I didn't care. I wanted to be with her. I didn't know that over time it was going to turn into this. It did. And that's fine. I'm not going anywhere. I'm with her. But the reason why they decided not to just stay co-fronting, co-conscious with her and come out on their own as the individual parts that they are, they're individual people. That's what you need to understand. They're actually individual people with their own personality. When I say that they're individual people, they're not, and that's the thing. You got to figure out which one of these that you're dealing with. There's like 5 or 6 diagnoses under the D.I.D systems. Hers is her actual individual parts that make her up as a whole through all of these childhood traumas, repetitive childhood traumas. They separated her parts, where we all, that don't have this, integrate as we grow up, and all of our parts are like this. Her parts did this. They separated. They didn't do this. So there's this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. That's how this works. So you have these individual parts that have their individual personalities that see themselves as individuals, and they are individuals, but they're individual parts of her. They all have their own thoughts and feelings. Back in May, almost a year ago, that was a hard time. with OSDD type 1B, you usually don't have amnesia between parts when they switch. You don't have... You okay?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have... She may have to step away, you know, and that's what she's got to do. That's what we've learned. She may not have amnesia between parts, but she did have a fog for about 4-hour spell. It continued for about 4 hours and all the way through the night and into the next morning. And whenever I told her what things she did and said, she denied it. And I'm like, yeah, no, you did say that, and you did do it. It caused a lot of conflict. It caused a lot of stress. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't believe her. And that stress caused LJ, little one, to really come forward. Stress is not Jennifer's friend at all. People that stress her out is not her friend. Anybody or stress for me is not her friend. Stressful situations just don't work. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I didn't believe her. I didn't believe that she had any amnesia whatsoever. And she didn't have amnesia, actually. She had a very clouded memory of this. Dissociative amnesia is real. She didn't totally dissociate in that episode that she had, but her recollection was not the actual chain of events. She remembered key parts, but parts that weren't really pertinent, she couldn't tell you even today. She don't remember. What she deemed necessary to remember, she remembered. But outside of that, a complete 5 hours total, one afternoon and night, and a portion of the next morning, maybe an hour. So that's how long that went on. It caused a lot of problems. Because I thought she was lying. She wasn't lying. She couldn't really truly remember. So that caused some stress, and it wasn't long after that, and the OSDD1B went off the chain, and LJ was out full force. The stress, it was stress induced. Stress induced. I'm going to move the camera back. I hope y'all can still hear me. I'm going to try to talk loud enough so that you can see me and Jennifer in more of a whole. That stress actually brought her out. Well, that was in May. And then in July or June? When's all your...
June.
In June, my youngest son, that she had helped me raise and become to love him as her own birth child, Marla, I'll get back to you on that question. My youngest son decided he was going to show his natural born butt, and that caused even more stress. That caused even more chaos. So we're going from May to June, within, 6 weeks. 7 weeks, she has another chaotic event happen that further triggered her to get to where she's at. Like I said, she had helped me raise him and take care of him like her own birth son from the time he was 5 years old. Him then being 12. So for 6 years, she'd been taking care of this boy like it's her youngin'. And for him to pitch a conniption fit, and basically he told us he hated us and wanted to live with his mother full time. That hit Jennifer pretty hard. It hit her as hard as it did me. So that threw another monkey wrench in. And so within 8 weeks, I'll say, somewhere around 8 weeks, 10 weeks, the littlest one, she wants out. It wasn't long for the rest of them to realize that, hey, if she can be out, then I can be out. So they started being out on their own. And the more they tested the waters, you okay?
Mm-hmm.
The more they tested the waters in social settings and let themselves out a little more forward, a little more forward, a little less Jennifer, a little bit more of them, they wanted to be out. They wanted to be out. They wanted to be able to be, for once in their lives, their own individual person. And I allowed them to. That is exactly what I should have done. But just leading up to the chain of events, when Jennifer was 3, she was attacked by a dog in the face. This dog, bulldog, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Bulldog attacked her in the face when she was 3 years old. She remembers that. And see, that's the thing about having OSDD 1B. She understands and knows everything and remembers every bit of her traumas. Every bit of her traumas. And what you need to understand is also, trauma for a child can be that child sitting on your lap watching a grandparent die. That's traumatizing. It doesn't have to be sexual. It doesn't have to be anything that happens actually to the child. It could be the child watching their parents beat each other profusely, fighting. That's trauma for a child. You got to be real careful. I have come to understand when you're raising children that all of these little things that people don't think about are trauma for a child. It doesn't have to be something that causes this to be sexual abuse. Any kind of trauma. A child that watches their best friend fall off the monkey bars and break their neck and die. That's traumatizing to a child, wouldn't you say? Well, that's the way this monkey works. That's the way this beast works. Was she inappropriately messed with? Yes. But it wasn't, thank God, the worst case scenario, like Jennifer thought. But those memories were recovered. It didn't go where it could have went, thank God. It was on the very mild, it was inappropriate touching, I'll tell you what it was. And it was inappropriate behavior with a child, that's what it was. It's not something you do with a 6 or 7 year old little girl. I can tell you that. I can also tell you that if I got my hands on them, it would not be pretty. But I won't go into my dark side. After that, she experienced a lot of trauma from a dysfunctional family, dysfunctional family friends that she was drug in to witness their behaviors. The key word here is repetitive childhood traumas. Okay, well, once she went through all this mess, and it's a laundry list of shit that she should have never been exposed to in the first place, not only does she have to deal with this shit, but her parents get divorced, and please hold your messages, private messages. I'll get with you on that. But the shit that she dealt with, no damn youngin' should have to go through. Well, not only did that youngin' go through that since she was 3 and attacked in the face by a bulldog, when she's 12 years old, the responsibility of taking care of her freaking sister out of a divorce, being the mother, the house cleaner, the clothes washer, caregiver to her child, the cook for her daddy, the whole friggin' 9 yards. That is not the responsibility that you plaster on a damn 11 or 12-year-old. So yeah, that's what happened. She's dealt with any and everybody asshole, dysfunctional shithead that she was drug in their path. Okay? Then she got with a narcissistic shithead and his family. Are you good?
Mm-hmm.
Because you are shaking like a leaf on a tree.
I'm still here.
Okay. She dealt with a narcissistic ex-husband and his narcissistic family for 20 plus years. That did not help matters. That did not help nothing. I'm just trying to explain to you how this kind of behaviors from outside influences affect not only children, but growing adults once they have experienced this as children. She had everything in the world against her. It was all against her. So I'm not surprised in the slightest knowing what I know. I'm not surprised at all. But what we did learn is that she needs to give each one of them their individuality and what they want. I do believe we have the right doctor, therapist that can help, get things under control. They've been kind of running wild for a little while, but we had some stress go on. And encounters with some less than desirable people to be around. So we think we got the right doctor. We thought before this appointment that Rusty, like I said, may be a female, but Jennifer says no. Appointment says no. Rusty is actually a actual male part. Maybe it's just the masculine side. You know what I'm saying? That's way you got to look at it. But we've been dealing with it. We deal with it as it comes. She usually gets stressed in the mornings and has, because before even this appointment, I said, you know what? Maybe if you just give each one of them a little something that they want, they'll kind of calm down. Everybody won't jockey for position. So Becca wants braids, she gets braids. LJ wants her little frozen dollar store necklace that I bought her, she puts that on. If Rusty wants this flannel shirt and even a hat, you know what I mean? That's the way she dresses. Rusty wants a flannel shirt and boots, okay? That's just the way it is. So we've decided just to give them all a little part of what they want, and maybe they'll kind of calm down. Well, it kind of seemed to work a little bit. Well, this doctor says, actually, that's exactly what you should have done. Give them all a little piece of what they want, and, everybody gets to be happy. But I'm going to turn it over to Jennifer if you feel like you can tell them about the meeting, because we did have a new altar show up, and I did meet her, by the way. I mentioned the night that Jennifer and I got together, after 27 years of not seeing each other. And I did have my eye on her in high school, I'm going to tell you right now. And if Al Aldrich is watching, he knows I did. But anyway, that's a whole nother ball game. I ain't going to tell that story. But anyway, I'm going to let Jennifer explain to you about this new altar. I did meet her, and I have seen her off and on, but not very much. But I actually spent a good about 8 hours with her the very next day after Jennifer and I re-met. And I met Becca, I met Reba that night, and I re-met Jennifer that night. Well, I spent 8 hours the next day with the new altar. She calls herself Celeste. She says she's 34. Well, that kind of runs along the time she was married, Jennifer was, to a narcissistic ex-husband. His behaviors have been duly noted, by the way. Not just by myself and not just by Jennifer, but at narcissistic behaviors, yes. By people that are trained to recognize those. So, she had a family meeting about her, and I'll let Jennifer explain to you how these family meetings happen and how her headspace works. Because there's a headspace where everybody's at, and where they come from and come forward. So she can explain it better than I can. I'm going to turn it over to her. I'm going to get out the picture for a minute and let her get with you on how headspace works and the meeting room that they have. There's actually, I got a group. We both do. We're in groups. We're on Facebook, and thank God for Facebook for this purpose, right? So people around the world and like us that need somebody to talk to that can relate, can go to and have a safe place to discuss these kinds of things. One of our people in the group, they have an island. Everybody has their own house. Not actually in our group, it's somebody on YouTube, our YouTube channel, where we follower of them. So Jennifer can explain how her headspace works and how the altar that came forward once again, and she actually thought she had been in this world by herself. She did not know she lived in headspace. She thought she was actually her own person, doing her own thing, and the whole 9 yards. Well, it was kind of a shock to her when I told her, actually, no, you're not on your own. And whenever Jennifer informed the rest of the family that did not know she existed either, that she did exist, they were none of them happy, really. And I'll let her explain how that went. Because I'll probably leave something out. Jennifer can tell you better than I can. You explain how that went and that, conversation in the whole 9 yards. Because I can't do that for you.
Don't leave me.
I'm not leaving you. I'm going to sit right here, but you can tell them.
Okay. Headspace. Headspace. In my head, if you will, picture turning on TV. Well, that's the way headspace is. You're looking at where somebody lives. Just say The Simpsons or Brady Bunch, or it's all centered around their house for the most part. Well,
She said that she got the Breakfast Club in her head.
Yeah, I got the rest. Breakfast Club, Wheel of Fortune. Some headspace. There's some internal family systems that there's works where they have an island, as Ronnie said. Some of them will have a city, individual houses, or kind of like apartments or group housing. Mine works kind of the way that a dorm would be. We have what we call Nana. Her name is Nana. To the kids, her actual name now we figured out.
About Nana, I don't think. You need to tell them who Nana is.
Backing up. Backtrack a little bit. One of the previous videos, Ronnie had made comment that there was actual another altar in there that was this older woman that we had called Granny. Because
I call her Granny.
You know. This wise Granny. Well, as times went on, and me trying to talk with each one as I do every day, it's Nana, not Granny. It's Nana. And her actual name is Ava. So it's Nana Ava. And the kids love her because they'll disappear from me and I'm looking for them.
Explain to them how they all interacted with each other.
And kind of find out they went to stay with Nana. So, but we don't have an island, or we have a castle. Seeing as how Ronnie has a princess.
Yes.
So our house is a castle. Nana lives in the upper tier of the castle. The midsection is 3 rooms. LJ's and Becca's and Reba's. And then there's the bottom area, floor level, and that's the common room or the family room.
Everybody.
And then there's the basement, and that's where Rusty lives.
Lower levels where they had to call the meetings.
So, what else do you do with a brother? Throw him in the basement. So, Rusty lives in the basement.
He got a house full of girls, y'all. He went to that basement by himself.
Yeah, to get away. But that's our house, internal family system house. It's 3 stages. Well, 4 if you count the basement. They do have a fish pond out back, and that's where Ariel lives.
Ariel's a EP. She's an emotional.
She's an emotional part.
She's an emotional part. She carries trauma, and also Celeste is an emotional part. She carries trauma too.
Well, I have not an opportunity to actually talk with her. I know she's there. I know she can hear me. And I talk to her
The same way you did a lot of the others before they actually would talk back to you. Feel them and not hear them.
It started out as they became present on their own.
Jennifer now, she herself is an altar. You need to explain that too. Jennifer is also an altar in the system.
Yeah, when we first started this, I looked at Ronnie and said, "So I'm not a real person?"
You are a real person. You're just an altar too, and that's how it works.
Because I just learning everything. It was crazy in my head trying to stamp it down.
And that's what I meant by I think the first doctor did more harm than good, because she didn't need to hear that she wasn't an actual person on her own. That she was also an altar. It kind of threw her for a loop.
Yeah,
Their method wasn't quite good.
I mean, you spend your whole life thinking you're just you, and okay, so now there's voices in your head. I'm still me. I just have voices. No, with this, you're an ultra too. You're an ultra too. So
anyway, you was explaining the house.
Swallowing that and coming to terms with that took a minute.
Among other things.
That. But anyway, the internal system, the way we function.
Now.
We have our castle, home. Everybody has a room or a place. Celeste, being the newest one, I have not had a lot of interaction as far as her because she ins and out, she wanes, so you can't really get a solid on her. I feel her just as the way that I feel each of the ones that I do know and the energy that they give off. Happy, sad, anxious, you know.
I've spent a good 30 hours with her.
Celeste has a whole nother energy. She's more of a lower vibration energy, I guess you would say. She doesn't seem happy. She's
Demeanor.
Yeah. Well, that would be a better word, demeanor. Her, like I said, she doesn't give off a sense of happy. When you're around people, you can kind of tell when they're down or.
She exists.
So, I do talk to her, hoping she'll actually present herself. In my sense of physical, in my mind, to become a form like the rest of them are, that I can see her. But she does not have happy.
Almost emotionless.
Yeah, she doesn't.
Y'all, she's the definition of a beat down woman.
Very depressive. Very depressed. She doesn't really smile about anything. She just has
no sense of humor.
No sense of humor. She's just here. It's like, like saying if you want to go to the store, well, you want to go to the store?
I videoed her
Okay.
and showed her to Jennifer, and Jennifer didn't know her.
She's all her own. I'm trying to figure out where exactly she lives in Headspace. And like I said, I don't have interaction with her other than my talking to her. And I'm hoping soon she'll at least visualize for me or talk to me or both.
She'll talk to me.
So as of right now, Ronnie's the one that actually has interaction with her before. He's interacted with her.
Yeah, like almost 8 years ago when I seen her the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see her since. Till recently.
But back to the way the family system works and calling meetings. We have our family room, gather room, social room, and everybody. I go in and I set my mind to the internal family system scene and projected in my mind of where I'm at. So it's actually, I go inside myself.
They won't let her but so deep.
That's like with the girls' rooms. I go as far as the door, but I can't go in them.
She can see inside the room, but she can't go in the room.
And in this room, the family room...
Are you okay?
I'm good.
All right.
I picture myself there until I'm there. and I have a seat, and that's mine. That's it. That's as far as I go. And we have a couch and 2 extra chairs, and then a couple of sporadics just because. And everybody's called in. So in my mind, I'm calling in to each one, and they come into the room and sit down. And then we discuss what's going on.
In the family.
In the family. How each one feels, or what they're thinking, who's got a problem with who. Which is never really, other than the 2 younger ones wanting to pick.
They want to pick at each other, but that's about it.
Yeah, so it's really a tight knit. There's nothing but love and support, and caring and sharing. They want everybody wants everybody to be better. Everybody wants to be happy. Everybody wants.
Well, that was the case until Celeste showed up. Mm-hmm. And there was chaos and major confusion going on in the family. Mm-hmm. And Jennifer had to call a meeting, which is what she's trying to get to. She had to call a meeting in the family room, which is like floor 1 above the basement. Mm-hmm. Rusty's domain. Rusty don't let nobody in his room.
No, it's like standing at the top of the stairs and hollering down in the basement. That's as far as I go. But anyway, we come together. I told them about Celeste. What kind of issues she's got as far as what I feel like she's got, and that's she's not sure. I feel like she wants to be a part of the system, the internal family system as a whole, as the outside external family as a whole.
She's gun shy.
That she
doesn't hurt too much. She's gun shy.
But if anybody can help her, you can.
I'm gonna try.
As much as you help us with all the advice you've been given and what you read. But anyway, I'm getting off subject. I am so sorry. I apologize for that. It was to explain that she's there, that she needs the family's help.
I thought of y'all. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. Come back to me. Come on. Stay with me. A trigger. I'm sorry, y'all. I couldn't help it. I should have got up and moved.
Y'all.
Stay with me.
Give me just a minute.
Stay with me. Don't let that trigger you, please. I need you to stay with me. I love you. Okay. You good? Let's move past that. You were talking about Celeste and the meeting with the family about Celeste. Let them know how that went.
Called a meeting.
It happens that easy, y'all. I was about to trigger that middle one. And that littlest one. With just that little bit. How the meeting went.
Yes. Called the meeting. Called the meeting. Everybody showed up. I told them about Celeste. Told them I felt like that she wanted to be a part of our family. That she needs love. She needs support. That needs to be accepted. She needs everything that we all do. And so,
as a person,
acceptance as who she is as an individual, just as each of us do. And it works that way with them, us. as a whole.
All of us.
We talk to each other just as you would talk to anybody else. Now, me personally, I talk to them in my head, sometimes out loud, but you'll never hear them talk back out loud. It's just, anyway. That's how the meeting works. Sometimes we come to each other on individual level.
Reba was, and she'll get back to that, but Reba to the meeting, Reba was the one that really only was like, no. Sorry. Oldest one right there. She was the only one that was a no at first. And I had a conversation with Reba, and I told her that she was a human being with feelings too, just like her, and she needed to be loved and helped. And I said, can you do that for me? And she said, I'll try. Then Jennifer had conversation with Reba in the family meeting, and Reba backed that up once again, that she would try and do what she could for her.
And so that was kind of the way it went. They do interact with each other. They sometimes, it's like I can hear static in the back of my head. Well, that's all of them in there doing whatever they do amongst each other. It's like romper room.
That's how they converse with each other. And it goes on all the time. Sometimes they're all doing their own thing and Jennifer don't hear a peep out of nobody. Or it might be one, it might be two, or it might be none, or it might be everybody. It just varies one day to the next.
And there's some times that I can hear two of them talk.
They talk to each other. All of them in there talk to each other.
And they can
The
talk.
only one that doesn't talk to anyone else is Celeste right now.
And we're hoping
She will.
now that she's acknowledged.
And it's part of the healing process. That part needs to converse with everybody else, and everybody's got to get on the same page. That's why it's so important.
So we'll see.
We'll see. But, Jennifer may not be talking to the middle one and the littlest one, but she can hear what the middle one, and the littlest one are saying to each other. Jennifer's like eavesdropping, like Mama from the kitchen, and she hears what's going on in the bedroom. That's the way it is for her.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be riding down the road, and Jennifer will just go to laughing. I'm like, oh Lord, what's going on now? And she'll tell me she sees it, she hears it, she knows, and I can't help but imagine in my own head, yeah, I can see that because I know both of them. I'm like, yep, I can see exactly what you're saying. I can see all that unfold. And one calls one a spoiled brat. That would be the middle one talking to the little one, and she says, well, you're a juvenile delinquent. And that's the way they are. And when I saw Celeste last was about 2.5, 3 weeks ago. And I spent the entire day with her. And night. And when I took her in the house, she's like, okay. And I'm like, I only got one bed. Well, she went to bed, I went to bed. Yeah, it's like that.
I woke up the next morning.
Jennifer woke up the next morning, and that is the only one that has ever given her like almost total amnesia, where she don't remember until I tell her every single detail. Usually Jennifer, if she has any, it's not really amnesia, it's more like a fog. It's more like she forgot a little something. she forgot a little something. But when I say LJ's little one did this. Oh yeah, I remember. Well, this is the only one. It took a whole lot of talking for her to realize, yeah, what Celeste said. And I can say Celeste all I want to. It won't trigger her to come out. I can't even call her out. I can call each and every one of them out if I want to. You don't do that. You don't do that. I don't do that unless I have to. And there's a reason for it, because you don't want one to feel like, they're not wanted. Well, you don't want me, or you don't want to be around me. That's exactly how they feel if I were to do that. So I just don't do that. It's not cool. It's not cool to them. It hurts their feelings. If one of them's out and I really need Jennifer at the moment, I will say, can you fetch mom for me or mama for me? I really need to talk to her, or I really need her right now. They will. And I let them know. It's not because, you okay? It's not because I don't love you, and it's not because I don't want to spend time with you, but I really need her right now. I can pull her back. But I try not to do that unless it's absolutely necessary. And I have to be careful how I do that. And, but no, I can say Celeste all day long. It won't bring her out. I don't know how to bring her out. I don't know how. But I'll learn, when she's out. Well, I ain't got to learn when she's out. I know when she's out. I can see her plain as day. But I'll learn, what triggers her is what I'm saying. And that's another thing. I had to learn what triggered each one. Who's trying to trigger now? You need to go in the house for a minute, if you don't mind, before you trigger. Okay? Sorry, y'all. She was about to trigger. That's what it's like. She's about to trigger. I said one of them's name too many times, and one of them's chomping at the bits. But that's what it's like, and they are real people that live in her head, and they all have feelings. They all have emotions, and the only thing about it is LJ can get upset. They have emotional amnesia. And yeah, there is such a thing in this. They have an emotional amnesia. Jennifer knows if LJ is upset. She's like, dang, that girl got upset, didn't she? Jennifer does not feel the emotions that LJ feels. If Becca's upset, Jennifer does not feel that emotion. If Becca's having an anxiety attack, Jennifer does not feel that emotion. So she has emotional anxiety between her parts. Jennifer does not feel what Celeste feels. I spent pretty much 2 full days with her. I spent an entire day, and she left before me and Jennifer went to bed. The next day she was back. We spent an entire day together, and that's who went to bed with me. And Jennifer woke up. What the hell? I said, do you remember where all we went? And Jennifer's like, I don't remember shit. That's the only one that has done that to her. But as far as the feelings, they don't share emotions. they acknowledge each other's emotions. Jennifer can acknowledge that one's upset or having an anxiety attack. She acknowledges that, and she knows they did or what they felt. She knows that they cried or whatever they done. She doesn't feel that emotion. She doesn't have the emotion. It's not tied to Jennifer, because it's not Jennifer's emotion. It's the other one's. And I've been asked by a couple people what it's like and all that, and basically, how do you have a relationship with all these people, different people that are up here? And it's really easy, because I acknowledge that they are all her. It's just different parts of her. So I have to have, a relationship with each one of those parts. And I do. I had to learn each one of these people. I had to learn what hurts their feelings. I had to learn what their favorite foods are, what kind of movies they like, what kind of music they like. They all like something different. Which Jennifer really likes everything they like, but not to the extent that they like it. Or like LJ. LJ is absolutely bonkers over cheese. Like, she's a cheese freak. Jennifer couldn't care less if she never ate a piece of cheese again in her life. But LJ, everything I cook, she wants cheesy bomb. That's what she calls it. I don't care what kind of cheese it is. I don't care. She calls it cheesy bomb. Oh, so I have to treat each one of her parts as a individual person and understand that for them, they are an individual person. LJ, she's a little 7-year-old girl. I have to, and she sees me as her daddy. I have to be daddy. I have to treat her like she's 7. That's what's going to be healthy for her. I may have to go to see and check on Jennifer. She was about to trigger. She's doing really good with this. She's doing good. She's doing better than I ever would. I can tell you that. It hit her hard. It hit her really hard at first. Her other doctor actually got the diagnosis right. His methods of treatment weren't so good. He was more focused on worrying about what triggers are than getting to more important things. And we had a 2.5 hour session today with the new doctor, and she's spot on. She knows her shit. But as far as me interacting with them, I treat them as individuals. I treat them for who they are. I know that they are individuals. I know they have their own thoughts, their own feelings, their own likes, their own dislikes. It's no different than you knowing 10 people. You know these 10 people differently. Well, I know one person with that many. I have to treat that many people differently and interact with that many differently. It's no different. That's what I have to do for her. It takes a lot of patience. Is it easy always? No. Is it always convenient? No. LJ, we've learned, she comes out every single morning. I need you to understand this. It can be a song to trigger one. It can be a food. It can be a person. To stress one of them out and trigger them. Becca especially. It can be a food. Any number of triggers. Stress is a major trigger. I tell you what stress will do. It'll cause them all to come out, and they'll go. That's what stress will do. But LJ, she comes out every single morning. What we've learned is if I don't acknowledge her presence, she don't usually stay front. I can not acknowledge her presence, and she will come front. If one of them wants to be front, it doesn't matter if you trigger them or not. Sorry, y'all. It doesn't matter if you trigger them or not. They're coming out. Doesn't matter what I say or do. Jennifer and I have learned, and today's doctor told us we were on the right path. Somebody's got to be in charge of this thing. There's got to be a gatekeeper, and there's different roles. There's gatekeepers, there's protectors. Each one of them can have a role. Some of them cannot have any role at all other than just exist. You have ones that bear the trauma. Each one of them have a place, and a purpose. So Jennifer's got to gain control of gatekeeper, and to be able to have somewhat control over the switching back and two. Because the other doctor said just kind of let everybody have free for all. That kind of really don't work. Somebody's got to kind of control traffic. And Jennifer wants that role. She wants to be the one to say, no, negotiate, staying in for a little bit if it's not appropriate. I need you to stand down, kind of thing. So that's kind of where we're going with it at the moment, just to gain somewhat of control back of the situation. It's not to say you won't meet one of them, but if you do come across one of her alters, I encourage you just to get to know that alter. Treat them as you would any other person. Be kind. Don't be an asshole. That's really all that's required. Don't be an asshole. And treat them like a human being, because they are human being. They just a human being that is inside of my wife's body. That's all really that you need to do. Don't feel please weirded out by it. Just you're conversing with another human being. It's really not that hard. I have established a relationship with each and every one of them outside of Celeste. Rusty and I have a kind of a weird relationship. He don't really come out to me much. Kind of, if it's a dude thing, guy thing, he'll, they don't make these motorcycles like that, but dipshits think they gotta make them like that, aftermarket. And I don't understand the radio on the motorcycle thing, but okay. But anyway, Rusty, he's more or less like, dude, did you see that shit? And I'm like, yeah, what the hell? He's like, I don't know, man. It's kind of messed up. He's gone. I've not had a conversation with Rusty that ever lasted more than 5 minutes. But yeah, I established relationships with each one of them. What the other doctor said was, to let them come and go. And I'm like, how the hell are they supposed to come and go and nobody knows that they come and go? This one actually says, if they're out in your social settings, work settings, even with me, so in other words, let each one of them tell their name, tell people who they're talking to, because if people don't know, they won't get to know that alter, that person. So if you walk up to Jennifer and you go, how you been, Jen? And she looks at you and goes, shakes your hand and says, it's Reba. It's actually Reba. She's kind of letting you know, this ain't Jen. She's letting you know who's out. And what has caused a lot of chaos is that they have always felt like they needed to mask themselves and be out under Jennifer's cloak. So our goal is to try to get as many to come together that will, and it is up to them. If one altar don't want to, if LJ says, nope, I want to be LJ, I want to be by myself, I don't want to come together with everybody, she ain't. And ain't nothing nobody can do about it. Jennifer can't force it. She can't make it happen until that little girl wants to. Jennifer can want it all she wants to. It ain't going to happen. It takes both of them to want to. If one tries it and does it without the other one's permission, it won't end well. It's going to cause more problems than we already got going on here. You good?
Yep.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
She just had to excuse herself for a minute, y'all. I mean, it's the way it is when she knows, and that's what we learned today. When she knows it's coming, and she does know, each one of them give her a different notification that I'm fit to come out whether you want me to or not. Jennifer feels them coming. So I went way longer with this go live. I don't really care. Anybody that wants to watch it, I'm going to leave it up long enough that you can watch it in segments. And I'm going to post that on the title. I'm going to leave it up long enough to watch it in segments if you want to. But there's a lot of people that really have shown so much love and support that really wanted to know what we learned today. I wanted to go in depth. Like I said, it was a 2.5 hour long appointment. You just can't cover that and cover what we already knew was going on and how we knew it was going on ahead of time. In this length of time. But there's been so many people that shown love and support and that really do care and give a shit. We couldn't let you down and not tell you what's going on. But the really truth of the matter is that don't.
So we don't get crunched.
I'm going to. The truth of the matter is that her and Reba can probably merge eventually. Right now, Reba does not. She does not want to. And right now, I'll be honest with you, and Jennifer will too. Jennifer will too. She's not really about it right now. A merger. Let me explain the merger to you. Good?
Mm-hmm.
A fusion. Same difference. For Jennifer and Reba both, it's like they lose their own self in doing so. It's like sacrificing the lamb. You know what I mean? It's like one's got to go. And it's not that way. It's more or less the two blend. That's the way a fusion works. It's taking the two and making one out of them. That's the way that works. Right now, they're happy being individuals. And until they want to, hey mom, let's me and you get together and be one, it's not happening. Just the way it is. The littlest one and the middle one can probably merge. The middle one and the oldest one ain't gonna happen. Can I say names without triggering you?
Yes.
Reba, did you get it together in there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everybody's under control. Had the family meeting, I'm thinking. Okay.
They all went and visited Nana.
Okay, good. Because that one with the anxiety was about to bust out. Becca, I got clearance. I got to clear this. She has to put them all somewhere. But, like I was saying, Becca and Reba, no, that's not going to happen. Those two aren't coming together, period, the end. They're going to stay separate. Reba cannot handle Becca. She can't handle her. When I say crazy ball, she's crazy ball. I mean, she's like off the chain, goober, crazy ball, and Reba is super laid back, chill, just resting bitch face. No, that's not. I can tell you, probably gonna happen. Tell them. I don't give a shit how long this damn video lasts. Now, if they want to watch it, they can watch it. Tell them about the time that we were out there and defrosting the freezer, and Reba was right there, and here comes Crazy Ball. Tell them how that worked, so they'll understand why those two ain't coming together.
Like as Ronnie said, he was cleaning out the freezer, and I was standing behind him, talking to Reba, and it's like Reba's standing right beside me. That's the way I felt her, is she's just standing beside me.
Sorry, yeah.
And when or while we were talking, my heart started getting a little flutter to it. That's my signal.
That's your knowing
that Becca's near. Well, as soon as it started, it's like in front of me, I could visualize Becca coming to me, and as soon as she appeared, Reba just disappears. It's like she's like, peace out, and just it was gone.
She backed off, and she's like, I'm out of here.
And it got worse and got worse, and I changed over to Becca.
You switched to Becca, and the next thing, I turn around, Becca's standing there looking at me stupid.
And
I'm looking at Jennifer before this now, y'all, and I'm in here chiseling away at this freezer. I turn around, and I look over here, and this Becca standing there with this damn stupid goober look on her face. I'm like, oh, Lord.
So, we were like, we had discussed it, Ronnie and I, and trying to figure out, well, what's going on. It's almost as if Reba was scared of her. Well, fast forward, Reba was out, and the flutter started again. And she proceeds to tell Ronnie, I gotta go. I gotta go. And she does this.
We're at a friend's house. She motions to me, patting her chest.
That's Ronnie's signal. Becca's coming.
She went and lay down in the truck.
And so she told Ronnie that she can't do the anxiety.
She can't do that anxiety that Becca has.
So she leaves and leaves me to deal with it. She pushes me back forward.
Yeah, shove Jennifer front. Here, you handle it.
It's like, Mom, get her. She's having one of them things, an attack or something. She does not deal well with stress.
At all.
Come to find out, after talking later about it, and since then, it's the fact that Becca wanted out while Reba was out. And they don't front together.
No, they can't co-front.
They don't mesh at all.
They can't co-front. They're not even co-conscious.
So
they don't even talk to each other in headspace. They know each other's there, but they don't talk. They don't communicate.
So Becca was trying to force her way to the front while Reba was still out.
And that freaks Reba out.
So Ronnie helped me to the truck, sat me down, and by then Reba was on her way out.
She gone.
So I'm sitting here dealing with the anxiety issue that Becca's got. Talking to her. Well, Becca usually creates a forward heartbeat. It's like it's going to bust out my chest. That afternoon, it was in my back. It was as if my heart was being pushed and beat out my back. So it was really kind of... It was really different. Like, I don't know how to... Other than it was different.
Push it.
I felt it in the whole top of my head when it was finally... Both of them were settled back and it was just me. Sometimes I have a little bit of a tension through here.
Headache.
It may go to a headache, or it may be just tension, like a mild tension headache forming. And it doesn't last very long. That afternoon, it was like just holding my top of my head and just pressure. And then eventually it just all come together and leaked down in my forehead. Never experienced this before. So now I know that when one and the other is coming, it's go ahead and sit down and got to settle this out. Or either one's got to go and let the other one come on. Well, that afternoon, Becca it was like she gave up. I don't know why. So it wound up being me.
And then Reba come back out afterwards. When Becca went back to her room and did whatever, connecting to the universe, lay on the floor, connecting to the dead hippie child does. She calls herself a green witch. She thinks she's a witch.
Well, I had told her she needed to go to her room and meditate. That would help. So I'm guessing that's what she did. I just know that
she vacated. I didn't see her no more that night.
But Reba did come back later, but it was in and out. I would look at Ronnie, and it's me.
Until we
look at Ronnie, and it was Reba. Look at Ronnie, and it was me.
And then on the way home, y'all, that's how it is. You be riding down the damn road, okay? You be riding down the damn road. Oh. And I'm sitting there talking to Jennifer, and I look over, and it ain't Jennifer. And I just turned my head away to look at the damn road for about 2 minutes or a mile. And then next thing I know, I'm talking to a whole nother woman. It ain't Jennifer. It's a whole nother damn one. And I'm like, oh. Because see, I can tell. I can tell by how they sit. I can tell how they look at me. I can tell by looking in her eyes which one it is. Ain't nary damn one of them got the same facial expressions. I can tell. I can tell which one I'm talking to. So when I look back over there, and I'm steady keeping up my conversation that I was having with Jennifer, and I turn around and look, and they looking at me like, "What the hell are you talking about?" I'm like, "Oh, okay. Hey, Reba, good to see you, girl."
What's real funny is when you're sitting there and you say one word,
and see,
and he says, "Huh?"
And see, yeah.
What'd you say? It ain't me no more.
One
word.
It only takes about one word, and I'm like, okay. Okay. I ain't dealing with Jennifer no more. And I realize which one it is, and I'm like, you know, what you been up to? Where you been? What you been doing? I've been right here. And see, that's the thing about it is that none of her parts have amnesia between parts. None of them do. What one does, they all know. What LJ does, Jennifer knows. They all know what each one of them does.
And don't you think they won't tell on each other?
They will tell on each other. The youngest have told on Jennifer. I'm talking about ratted her ass out. I'm talking about Becca said, Mom didn't take her supplements this morning. I'm like, oh, really? I'm like, oh, really? She didn't take her supplements? Nope. She sure didn't. Nope. They will rat her out. Them youngins will throw her ass under the bus. I'm telling y'all right. Becca, she ain't got no loyalty to Jennifer. She will bust her ass out in a minute.
She got loyalty to nobody. She tells on everybody.
I know she tells on everybody. But she will tell on Jennifer in a heartbeat.
And don't think she won't go, Dad said.
Oh, she'll tell. Oh, yeah. But they don't, that's what I'm saying. They don't have amnesia between their parts. They don't, nary one of them have no amnesia between their parts. They all know what each one of them does when they front. They all know what each one of them does when they co-front. They ain't nobody not know what anybody else done or didn't do. So I asked Jennifer, did you do your, or whatever, whoever the hell I'm talking to? I'll ask Becca, did your mama do her affirmations this morning? Yes, sir, but she didn't do them in front of the mirror like you told her to. Oh, really? Okay. All right, then. And when Jennifer's back front, I'm like, your daughter told on you. She'll go, about what? And I'm like, you know what? You didn't do your... I got in a hurry. I stopped long enough in the mirror to say I love you. That's how it goes. They will tell on her in a heartbeat.
Yeah, like your little miss. I tell my daddy.
Uh-huh. But y'all, we had a successful appointment. I think we got the right doctor that can get, like I was talking about a while ago. And I'm trying to move this phone because I don't know how good my microphone is. Where y'all can hear me. Reba and Jennifer can probably come together. I don't know about Celeste right now. I don't know where she's at. I ain't seen her in a couple weeks now. Since she came back out again, and I hadn't seen her very often before that. Becca and Rusty could definitely come together, I think. because Becca's a bit of a tomboy. Rusty's like dude in the basement kind of thing. I think they could probably come together. LJ, I don't know if LJ's always been a cat of another color compared to everybody else. Jennifer even sees LJ different when she comes out. LJ is external from Jennifer. Jennifer can actually see her outside of herself. The others, Jennifer sees as inside of herself when they're out. They're not outside of her. LJ's the only one that Jennifer sees outside of her, so I don't really know if LJ will ever be able to fuse. I know that Becca and Reba, unless Becca changes a whole lot, I doubt they'll ever fuse. So the best case scenario, and our new doctor really agrees. The best case scenario is we're going to end up with LJ. We're going to end up with a combination of Rusty and Becca, and a combination of Jennifer and Reba. We don't have a clue on Celeste right now. Granny, I don't know that she's going to give it up, because she really kind of want to oversee the family and kind of guide everybody. I don't know that Granny's going to do that, and I'm going to call her Granny from Ava. I don't know that Ava is going to give it up.
She's kind of like the house mother.
She's the house mother over everybody. So we're probably going to end up with a mesh of Jennifer and Reba eventually, possibly, but they both have to be on board with it. And that's a matter of, well, today Jennifer's thinking about, hey girl, won't me and you just come together? And Reba be like, yeah, no, I want to do my own thing. And the next day Reba's be like, okay, Mom, maybe we can get together on this thing. And Jennifer's like, yeah, on second thought, I kind of like to just go ahead and keep you over there by yourself. It has to be unanimous with whoever fuses. It can't be forced. It can't, and there's no medicine for this. There's no medicine to make this happen. Well,
right now, nobody.
I think it was Marla that posed the question: does alcohol have an influence on who's out? No, it really hasn't had an influence. Most of the time, the only two that care about alcohol, Rusty don't even care. Rusty's never out long enough to care about much of nothing. But the only two that care about alcohol, outside of Jennifer having her drinks, Nana, Ava, she don't care nothing about it. Maybe a glass of wine, I don't know. I don't even know if she drinks anything or not. I only see her whenever somebody's in distress and she comes out and, gives her wisdom. That's the only time I see her. But as far as alcohol is concerned, Becca's not going to drink a cold beer. She's not going to drink nothing. The only thing that she's going to drink is a wine cooler, and she thinks that's Kool-Aid. She really thinks that she's drinking Kool-Aid. So, and she don't even ask for any. LJ, she won't touch anything but chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk. She wants her chocolate milk. And her yogurt and her banana, her blueberries. She don't give a shit about no alcohol. Oh, and usually she's out in the mornings. I mean, I've only seen her out after the morning's over with like a handful of times. Oh, and listen, sister's serious about her sleep. Me and Jennifer will be outside, and LJ wants out the few times that she has later in the day, on a Saturday or whatever, and I'll spread her blanket on the ground, light a fire barrel if it's cold enough, or just let her do her thing, you know, if it's warm enough, and she'll color her little heart out. But when she gets ready to go to bed, she'll come up to me and say, and wobble up to me. She walks like a duck. She'll waddle up to me, and she'll hug me and say, "Night, night, my daddy, I'm going to bed." And when she goes to bed, she goes to bed. You don't see her ass no more.
Like a light switch.
And then, you know, she's out. She's gone. She'll take her little nap, wake up. Jennifer, you don't see her. LJ's gone. She ain't gone. You ain't gonna see her till the next morning. She's so funny when she eats her breakfast, y'all, I swear. If she gets a piece of banana in her finger, she's gonna suck that damn thing. It's gonna sound like two little 12-year-olds trying to learn how to French kiss. Trying to get that banana out of there. It's hilarious. It is hilarious. But anyway, like I said, alcohol, I think it was Marla, I'm not sure. Alcohol, yeah, no, that's not an issue. It won't trigger one. That's not had any effect whatsoever on any of them.
It don't keep them from coming out either.
It don't stop them from coming out, but it don't cause one to come out. I mean, there ain't no change. But LJ, nah. When she go to bed, sister girl go to bed. Becca, she likes wine coolers, but her ass thinks it's Kool-Aid. She won't drink beer. She won't drink liquor. She ain't got no use for none of that shit. She will drink a wine cooler, but that's it. Reba will drink a light mixed drink. She will drink a beer, but it's not really her favorite thing. But if that's all you got, yeah, she'll drink one. Jennifer, she'll drink a beer. No problem. I mean, she'll drink any of it. But, yeah, like I said, you got to learn what their individual things are. But I've only given Becca wine coolers a couple times.
I say twice.
Like twice. And she drinks one. And she thinks it's Kool-Aid. She don't even realize it's alcohol. So, there's that. But, anyway, I only buy that because I know she ain't going to hang around for very long. And Jennifer can drink the rest of them.
She usually don't hang around long enough to drink a whole one.
No, usually about a half. But if she spends an entire 2 hours out, she might drink a whole one in that 2 hours. But, no, usually she's just running her damn pie hole and act like a fool. She don't hush. She does not hush, and she's hilarious. I swear to God, she'll make your stomach hurt. But like I said, but this doctor, like I was telling y'all, when she had to have her time to put the kids to bed, so to speak, so she didn't trigger and get everybody okay again. If you see one, just acknowledge who you're talking to, and if you think it's Jennifer, and she says a different name, then that's who you're talking to. If she says, well, it's Reba, this doctor says, they need to stop masking. Number one, they got to stop masking. They got to stop pretending to be her when it's not really her. Because she gets to blame for what they say or do. So they got to stop doing that. So they've got to acknowledge you who it is. Well, you may you've all been around them. You've all been around them. So, if one of them is around long enough for you to actually interact with, and they say if you call them by Jennifer, they know you think it's Jennifer, but they also know that it's not Jennifer, and they may tell you who it is. They'll only do that if they're comfortable. So if they do feel comfortable enough with you to tell you who you're talking to, then just be like, oh, okay, well, you look so much like your mom. Or you look so much like her, I thought it was her. Something to that effect. That's going to be the best way to approach it. For Jennifer and for the altar that you're looking at. Because the only way they're going to ever fuse is obviously, it's become very obvious to us, is for them to have a time to be able to actually be themselves. Well, they decided to trust me enough to be themselves. If they trust you enough to be themselves in front of you, then consider yourself lucky. Because it takes a lot of trust to earn an altar to be themselves in front of you. That requires an enormous amount of trust in you as a person. I'm going to close with that. Jennifer and I have got a lot of talking to do about where we're going to go from here with the girls, with what we learned today. And what we're going to learn, I mean, it's a journey. It's a journey, y'all. I mean, y'all, get with me, baby. This is closing. We're going to close on this. It's a journey. This thing is a journey. It's an everyday journey. It's an everyday learning process. We've been misguided, but I think we under right guidance. So, for those of you that still do love and care about us, that don't think we're a couple of psychos, that do have compassion for childhood traumas and mental illnesses, understand that this could happen to anybody. It can happen to anybody. This is not something that was spur of the moment. It didn't just leap out and go ta-da, here I am. It's been going on with her whole life. It's just going on a different level. Because of the things that happened, because of the stresses that she's been through in the last 11 months, it just became more pronounced. And because they all entrusted in me, and I knew that they were there, yes, they all came forward. And that's the way this thing works. That's the way that they do. So, just trying to hit on a last key note. If you love her and you care about her, if you ever enjoyed her company, then you've enjoyed all of their company, because they've always been there. They actually just want to present themselves on their own right now. And that's going to be part of the healing process for them. So get to know each one of them. They're actually good people, and they're actually lovable people. Because they are part of the person that you came to know and love in Jennifer. They're all her parts. They're all part of her. So if you ever loved her, then surely to goodness you can love her individual parts, as I have, and that I do. And you can get to know them like I've gotten to know them. You may learn something by learning and knowing those individual pieces of her. She was a person I had to learn what made her tick, and I was the man that wanted to know what made this woman tick. She was something else, and she still is something else to me, and I'm gonna continue to know what makes her tick. I'm gonna continue to love her alters as individuals, and be what I'm supposed to be to all of them. But if you've taken the time to watch this whole thing, like I said, thank you for the love and support. I'm gonna leave it up because I know everybody doesn't have time in their busy lives like we all have to sit and watch something this long at one time. I'm gonna leave it up for you to be able to watch it in pieces. This is the longest one we've ever done. It's that's due to the fact there was so much information to share on this thing. You never know what somebody's battling. You never know what somebody's facing. What's hiding behind the smile, you know what I mean? But we're going to keep on keeping on. And Jennifer and I are both here. If anybody feels the need to reach out with what's going on with them in their personal life, that's affecting them, whether it be mental illness, I don't care what it is, you know what I mean? Whatever might have you beat down. If I can be an ear, even, I'm willing to be. She's willing to be. Y'all have been willing to be an ear for us, so we can certainly return that to you. Anyway, guys, we love you. We mean it. And God bless you, each and every one. We just want to share with you, what we learned. And I was right. You know, that first doctor wasn't spot on, you know. Not every doctor is going to be the one you need. Not every therapist is going to be the one you got to have. Not every best friend is going to be the one that you need. They're going to come and they're going to go. So we made a change. We learned some things. We're going to rock on with that knowledge. And we're going to go from here. Those that do care, those that send me private messages wanting to know, you know, what's happening with her, how we're doing, we're going to keep you informed as we know. We're going to share. We've been busy, pretty busy for a couple of weeks, and really haven't had time to stop and think. There has been moments, you know, of each one of them, but I don't record everything all the time, and I just kind of record, you know, the key times. Sometimes they come and go so fast, I don't even have time to get my camera out to document. But if I can get Becca back, or y'all have never seen Reba, if I can get her, she kind of went to where she only hangs around sometimes. Before I close, I know that y'all were told before in a video, and not the too far past, that Reba and I are romantically involved, and I had to disclose that to Jennifer. I had to tell her, I had to be honest with her that is the case, that yes, I do love her in that way. Jennifer and I talked during today's therapy, 3-part session, me, Jennifer, then us. We talked afterwards and during. Y'all have heard it from my perspective. I'm going to let Jennifer give it to you from her perspective, and then we're going to close from there, because I have been asked kind of how that has gone. what kind of complications that may have thrown into things between me and Jennifer versus me and Reba. And I'm going to let Jennifer give it to you from her end of it.
Well, when Ronnie first told me that Reba was the one that he actually fell in love with that night because I was absent, it was kind of, I don't want to say a shock, but it just kind of took me by surprise. And I don't want to say I got mad, but I wasn't exactly happy.
You got mad.
I guess it would be mad. Like,
you got jealous.
And I did get jealous. I'm like, how's that work? And
yeah, I wanted the same thing.
It's because they are their own persons. It fits kind of in the same category of, okay, so you're in love with another woman, but it's me. So
yeah, the other woman's you.
I looked at it in all different kinds of ways of how to swallow that, and it finally came to me from something I read from a group on D.I.D. And the woman said the way she had dealt with the same thing, and she said the way she dealt with it was that she had to look at it in the way that different people have different things about them that you love. You can dislike a certain part of somebody that you love, but there's something else about that person you love even more. Well, I don't like for you to be a negative person all the time, so I don't really like that about you. You know, I love you, but, or either, you know, you're so happy, you make everybody. I love that about you. Different personalities of somebody, but you prefer one over the other. And I kind of looked at it that way. Well, Reba's got one personality. I have a personality.
Reba's one way with me, and you are another.
And that, so it's total of still me. It's just that there's one part that he likes about me, that he likes to spend time with me as that personality. He likes me as another personality as me. And so each individual of us, we give a little something to the whole that makes me.
Me love all of you.
So I don't look at it as he's thinking about another woman. I don't look at it as he's wanting to be with another woman. He loves me. He loves all of me in all of my parts. And so how can I be jealous of myself?
Put yourself in my shoes. I don't know about that. Can you imagine?
Yeah, can you imagine saying I'm in love with another woman and it's you, but only another part of you? How do you deal with that?
What kind of man confesses that he feels like he's cheating on his wife with herself?
What he said.
I don't think they heard that.
What kind of man feels like he's cheating on his wife with his wife? But
I'm pretty sure that means you'll never have to worry about me cheating on you.
I'm thinking. But all of me loves all of him. And regardless of which altar is out, it's still all of me spending time with him. So it works.
Well, we make it work.
Nobody's jealous.
Anymore.
Everybody gets their time
Anymore. Y'all,
I did struggle for a minute. I just couldn't wrap my brain around it.
I'm going to tell y'all, that made her mad as shit.
What now? It was a moment. But it took a lot of self-reflecting. And
I had to tell her that I was in love with the other her. Because it was eating me alive. Who does that? Good Lord.
But it works. We just, everybody spends time with him. Everybody spends their individual time with him. And talking about the coming together, the fusion, and right now none of us really want to. I mean, we do, but it's not enough that we would want to work towards that. We like the way it is. We co-front together. We co-conscious all the time, most of the time. And everybody just has their individual time. So right now it's working. It's working. Nobody really wants to.
Nobody's under pressure.
Make a one solid kind of person. It's
they want to be their own person, okay?
Yeah.
And that's it.
We're a team. We're individuals and we're a team.
It's the damn Breakfast Club.
It's the Breakfast Club. And every morning we play Wheel of Fortune.
Pretty much it.
And sporadic throughout the day.
Well, that's what we found this new doctor for, is to slow that Wheel of Fortune down a bit.
Yeah. So it's and I did take that opportunity to be the gatekeeper. I chose to have that role if the group allowed it, the family allowed it. Nobody really wanted it. I accepted it, and we figured out the best way for me to do that everybody is not chaos and confusion and running towards the front and let me out or fighting over who. I just put something on for everybody. I get up in the morning, I'm saying, okay, what we wearing? So, like he said, was it Tuesday? I came out with Reba's eye makeup. I come out with Becca's braids. LJ's little...
Reba's eye makeup, Becca's braids, LJ's necklace, Rusty's flannel shirt, and boots, and...
The rest is me.
The rest was Jennifer's shirt and shorts, I guess.
And that was how that day dressed.
The first day she come out like that, I was like, what the hell, everybody's dressed you? She's like, yeah. So if you see her with a Frozen necklace on, a Disney necklace, or what the hell ever, just, she's pacifying the little one.
And it seemed to work. It has seemed to
keep them
everybody
all occupied and happy.
It's like
they have come out, but they're not bulldozing for the front. Like, I ain't had my time. I ain't had my time. I ain't had my time.
And don't you think they won't?
Yes, if they don't get their time.
What Becca say? Tell her to wait her turn.
Tell her to wait. Yeah. We were riding down the road. Yeah, we were riding down the road, and Becca was front, and LJ's in the back going, tell him play this song, tell him play that song. Becca looked at me, she said, will you tell her to hush and wait her turn? I said, what? She said, she wants to hear this. Will you play it so she'll wait her turn? I'm like, okay, y'all quit fighting. Listen, when you got to break up a fight, between two kids that live in your wife's head. I'm breaking up a fight that is between two kids that live in my old lady's head. I'm like, okay, we'll play the song. Y'all stop fighting. For the love of God.
What's real bad is when the wife goes, get your children.
Yeah, when she said, get your children. I'm like, hell no, they in your head, not mine. But anyway, that's the way it is, y'all. But we love you. We just wanted to fill y'all in if you took the time to watch this damn shit show. It better. I mean, you can't find this shit on cable. They did offer us that, and that's one of the other things that threw a damn monkey wrench in. Yep. Don't even talk about it. Go in that. You gonna need to go in high.
No, because we're not doing that. She knows we're not doing that.
Yeah, we done told everybody we ain't doing that. They all listen. When that damn reality, whoever done that damn shit over one of our go lives, you was a. You don't even know what you did. That caused chaos and confusion among everybody. There ain't nobody, y'all. You just don't know. Everybody freaked out. There ain't nobody wanted to participate in that. So you can go watch cable, or you can follow us on Facebook. Whichever one you want to do.
Team Ronifer, Family Edition.
It's Team Ronifer. We got the whole crew. So, no, we opted out of that. Yeah, nobody wasn't about no Netflix, make no reality TV show shit, none of that. But Jennifer has wanted to share her story with everybody from day one and be open and upfront and honest so everybody wouldn't hide that has something going on with them or feel like they need to go kill their damn self. Well, we decided to share on YouTube. But y'all are our Facebook family. We wanted to share with you what we learned today. And like I said, I'll leave it up long enough that you can watch it in segments in your free time. But it will disappear off Facebook eventually. And we're going to get probably the short story form of this on YouTube. But I'll let Jennifer close with how she feels about you all, because what she says is also backed up by me. Y'all don't know what a blessing you've been, and I'm gonna let her take over from there.
He's right. Y'all actually are a blessing. It's support, love, understanding, trying to really understand. That means a lot. That just, you can't put into words what that means. To
even Michelle looking up once she realized you had this going on, doing the research and homework to find out more about it. Those kind of people.
Yeah, my best friend from high school, she got with Ronnie early on, said that she had noticed it back like in the 5th grade.
This is way back yonder, y'all.
Just thought it was my personality, but she watched the video and decided, I need to look this up. That's when it really
clicked with her
that she watched me grow up with this.
Even when you were married.
And
she saw that when you were married. The first time.
And she's not the only one that has told us that they've looked it up to try to learn what it is and what it's about. So we're very grateful for those of you that have done that, but we're just as grateful too for the support that all of you give, the love that you send, the prayers,
and everybody that still invites us and wants to be around us.
That too, because we're all over the place.
No,
but
don't just blow that off.
It's that we have to be comedy hour when we show up. In a good way.
You invite us, there's no telling what you'll get.
2 might show up, 4 might show up.
But everybody still has that we know and love, and we've been around all of our regular, normal people, and a big shout out to those that have that's cared enough and showed the compassion for Jennifer.
And you.
For
Please
Jennifer.
Don't leave you out.
And me, then. To still want to be around us and still want to know about it and still care. Ask questions. Jennifer doesn't mind. I promise.
Nope. Sure don't.
She really has been open about this because she wants to share with people what it's like. Oh, so that people don't feel like they're alone.
And one thing I have noticed, I want to encourage y'all not to be that way, even whether you mean to or not. But we have been to gatherings, and I have noticed that people will look at me to make sure of who I am at the moment.
Ask.
Y'all, you just ask. When you walk up to me, just ask, which one are we today?
Or who am I speaking to?
Well, that too.
Have we met? That's the best way. Have we met yet? And if it's Jennifer, she'll say it's Jennifer. If it's not, and you haven't met one of them, and that's who's forward, they'll say, no, I'm so and so, and meet them.
Mm-hmm.
They'll meet them. That's what we were told today. That's what she needs to do. So that's what they need to do.
If you're not sure, just ask. Is it?
It's going to be part of the healing process.
So don't hesitate. Just ask.
Yes,
it don't matter what it is. Any questions concerning it?
Yes.
I'll answer what I can.
Yeah.
Or Ronnie will. We'll open book on this. I mean,
if you want to know who it is, if you feel like it's not Jennifer, just ask, have we met? If it's Jennifer, she'll say, it's Jen. Because sometimes I have to ask. Sometimes, I'm her husband and I live with her. I have to ask. Who have we met? And, and she's like, it's me.
Or, like, who we dealing with?
who have I got here?
He either says, who we dealing with, or look at me.
I'll just say, look at me, because usually I can tell by that. But anyway, hey, we love you guys. We mean it. Jennifer said it best. Your love and support have meant the world to us. Continuing to invite us to places. Not making us feel like we're a bunch of damn weirdos or something. And understanding that she does have a mental illness and being acceptable to that and accepting it for what it is a blessing. Really is. It encourages her even more to share her story, to help somebody to keep from, sinking deeper on their own and being alone. That's a bad place to be, y'all. Bad place for anybody to be.
Mm-hmm. People with this do get depressed.
They do get that way.
They do get suicidal because so many people shun them or push them away because they don't understand it.
They lose friends, they lose family over it.
So support is a major key player in a person's life that has it. And y'all have been wonderful support.
And that's what you got to have first and foremost. Any good doctor will tell you. That's the first step in the healing process is a good support system. And y'all have been phenomenal. Each and every one of you.
So, love to you guys. Thank you so much for the support, not only for me, but for Ronnie as an individual as well. And all the girls and Rusty and all of us as a whole. Y'all have not just broke it down into couple, individual, but you supported us as this family, internal family system, because the girls know that they're supported as much as we are. And the ones that have met LJ love her, and she loves everybody. So if you ever get to meet her, she's gonna love you.
If you meet one of them and they've not been around you before or don't recall meeting you before, it's because they weren't full front. But if they are full front and they ever do meet you, when they see you again, they will recognize you. They will remember you. Just keep that in mind.
And also, too, if they do come forward before where we're going, if they don't speak or
It's just because they don't know you.
conversate with you, that's why. They don't know you yet.
You haven't been formally introduced, but once you have been, they will remember you next time.
Mm-hmm. So, I guess we're going to finish this up.
Yeah, we're going to tell them that we love them, and we do. And thank them for everything that they've given us. We can't repay you. But we know that y'all have, a lot of you asked me or Jen or both of us for updates in private message. Y'all been cheering for us, whether in the forefront or the background. We know who you are, and it means everything to us. We're gonna get her healed. We're all gonna do it together. It's gonna take everybody. I can't do it by myself. Jennifer can't do it by herself, but y'all that have shown love and support, you're part of that healing process, and it means so much to us. It means so much to the girls. The ones of you that the girls have met, even right down to LJ, they will never forget you. Even if there is a merge, if a fusion, they will still remember you. They won't forget you. So don't think that if that happens, if one of them combines with Jennifer, that they won't hold the memories of when they met you as a person on their own. They will remember. So you're dealing with a actual human being that lives in my wife's head, and you've met a new friend, I promise you. But love y'all. Jennifer loves you. And thank you for participating in this journey with us, because that's what it is. We just on a day-to-day journey with this thing. But I know we have the right doctor. I know that we're being steered in the right direction now. And she's given us some great advice, and we're going to follow it because it sounds a whole lot better than what we've been being told. So, meet the family. You probably will, because all the girls are happy. After the appointment, everybody's like, we like her. Even Rusty, he's like, she's a cool chick. So everybody's cool right now, and they're probably gonna show themselves to you, because they feel like they could be individual people now. Mm-hmm. And do what they need to do, and once they kind of stretch their legs, maybe they can start talking and communicating about maybe a merger or two, some fusion. But it can't be pushed, and nobody can be pressured, and nobody can force it. So we're just going to let them do what they got to do. And if they do, they do. If they don't, then we're still going to love Jennifer very much.
And I'm going to still love you.
That's
and
right.
You.
And you. But anyway, we're going to finish and wrap this up. It's been, I don't know how long, but just wanted to fill you guys in and talk to you outside of that about how things have been going. And we love you. We're still both focused in what we got to do inside and outside of this relationship. And y'all mean the world to us. God bless you each. Hope you have the great rest of your week and a great weekend. Some of you won't. I won't go into that. It's been some tragedy, but everybody's going to adapt, improvise, and overcome. And that's what we're working towards. See you guys later. We love you.